Alright guys, we're delving deep into the perplexing realm of attraction where women seem to have an uncanny fondness of men who play the ignore card. Now, before you start scratching your head or searching for love potions, let's take a look at this labyrinth of female psychology to understand what makes them tick for these ignoring players. Picture this, you're cracking your head over some puzzling mystery, and the tougher it gets, the more you're obsessed with solving it. Women ain't all that different. They go crazy for guys who appear mysterious and tough to figure out. Remember, women can often have a guy figured out within seconds. This is why they subconsciously test and qualify men before making a decision or opinion about them, or even just to confirm their own preconceived ideas about the guy. Now, women can also be more emotional and impulsive than men, which is why the experienced guys know exactly how to play them. But the bottom line is that the better you can spark their inner detective and the longer you can keep their interest and curiosity piqued, the easier it's gonna be for you to keep them wanting to know more about you. Now, women hate feeling defeated or rejected, which makes this a challenge that they simply can't resist. Now, this one is straight up science. You know, when guys play hard to get or even pretend not to notice, it's like a signal to women that says, hey, I'm a challenge. Try to win me over. I bet you can't. And guess what? We humans are wired to love challenges. It's like that rush you get when you conquer a difficult level in a video game or complete a tough task, you know, something that everybody feels you can't do. It feels incredibly satisfying. So gentlemen, here's a little tip for you. Don't be too quick to jump on the attraction wagon. Let them do some chasing too. It's not about being cold or distant, but rather about showing a bit of a mystery and leaving them intrigued. When you give them the space to pursue you, it ignites a spark of excitement and interest in their own mind. It makes them feel like the power and control of the situation, and therefore you are just within their reach. But the operative word is just. Many women can be a bit controlling or want control. At the same time, they just don't want you to submit. You do that and suddenly the whole idea of a challenge, of mystery or manliness completely disappears. See, when somebody is too easy to win over, it can feel a bit underwhelming. It's like getting a participation trophy instead of earning a well-deserved victory. But when there is some effort involved, it makes the whole journey so much more thrilling and fulfilling for both parties, you know? But remember, it's not about playing games or being uninterested, about finding a balance between showing your attention and giving them the chance to show their own interest as well. Confidence is a pretty powerful trait in general. When a guy exudes that self-assured attitude and doesn't constantly seek validation from others, it speaks volumes about his self-worth. He just got it all together, and that's pretty damn attractive to many women out there. Imagine this scenario. You see a guy who's totally comfortable in his own skin, not trying to impress anyone or win everyone's approval. He's like, saying, I'm good just the way I am, and I don't need anybody else's permission to be myself. That kind of attitude can be like catnip to women. They love it when somebody isn't desperate for attention or constantly seeking their validation. Think about it. It's refreshing to encounter somebody who isn't always seeking reassurance or approval from others. This guy's just doing his thing, and yet he manages to grab people's interest effortlessly. It's like he's got his magnetic aura around him, pulling others in without actually him trying. And you know what's even more intriguing? The fact that he's not actively seeking attention or validation doesn't mean he actually goes unnoticed. On the contrary, he becomes even more alluring, like a secret ingredient in a potent cocktail of attraction. People just can't help but wonder, what's his secret? It's all about the way he carries himself, the way he owns who he is, and he's not defined by opinions of others. That's what makes him irresistible in the eyes of many. Confidence isn't about being flashy or arrogant. It's about being comfortable in your own skin and knowing your self-worth. Imagine you're dating somebody and the person you're interested in doesn't always seem to be at your beck and call. They're a bit elusive, and you can't quite figure them out. Suddenly you find yourself even more intrigued by them. Why? Because it creates a sense of scarcity. It's like they are this fascinating puzzle that you just can't quite fully solve. And that's what makes them so appealing. You know, us humans, we have this natural tendency to desire things that are rare or hard to obtain. We value what seems exclusive or limited. It's like our brains are wired to find those hidden gems that are not up for everybody's grasp. They're just outside of their reach. So when a guy keeps some distance and doesn't always reveal everything about himself, it piques women's curiosity and they can't help but be drawn to him, drawn into him. Now here's the interesting part. If you apply this concept smartly, you might just be that limited edition collectible that she desperately wants to get her hands on. It's not about playing games or being overly aloof, but about striking that perfect balance between being available and having your own life, by giving her some space to miss you and allowing her to see that you're not always waiting on her, waiting on every move that she makes. You become a little bit more mysterious and captivating. It's like you're showing her that you have your own life and she has to work a little bit to earn her place in it, to earn your attention. And that, guys, is a powerful thing in a world of attraction. But remember, it's not about being uninterested just for the sake of it, or lying about what you're doing or who you're with. Genuinely value your own time and interests and let her see that you're a person with passions and priorities that are beyond just her. That will make you stand out in the sea of ordinary guys, and she'll be eager to explore a lot more of what makes you so unique. Guys, it's important to strike a balance when it comes to showing attention to someone that you're interested in. While being attentive and caring is great, showering somebody with non-stop attention can actually, backfire. It might seem like a good idea to always be there for her, but trust me, it can be overwhelming for the both of you. When you're too available, you might inadvertently be labeled as needy. And that's not the reputation that you want to have. Like I said, women appreciate a man who has a life of his own, who respects his own time and has a clear set of priorities. Having a sense of independence is attractive and captivating to others. And to be honest, absence can sometimes work in your own favor. Giving her some space doesn't mean ignoring her or playing some weird games. It's about recognizing that both of you need time for yourselves and other aspects of your own life. It creates an opportunity for her to miss you, and absence can indeed make the heart grow fonder. So instead of being constantly available and clinging to her every move, focus on being confident and secure in your own skin. Nurture control over your own feelings and emotions. Know when to let them off the leash and when to restrain them. After all, you don't only want to look like a man who's in control of his own life, but you want to actually be like that. This whole thing is about retraining your mind rather than playing an act, no matter how good an actor you actually are. Pursue your passions, hang out with your friends, and have a life beyond your relationship. And when the point comes when you need to reshuffle and rethink your priorities, you'll intuitively know what matters most, who matters most. And as the main protagonist of one of my favorite movies said, you'll know when the juice is worth the squeeze. Look, I know you're thinking, this sounds like an emotional nightmare, a pure roller coaster. And you're right, it can be. This is what relationships are like. There's no straightforward path. While women may initially be intrigued by the ignore tactic, remember, this is just a foot in the door. Being aloof for too long may leave them feeling unimportant and unwanted. And that's not the end goal, is it? The psychology behind women being drawn to men who ignore them is like an intricate dance of emotions, curiosity, and the thrill of the chase. While playing hard to get can initially spark interest, it's essential to find the right equilibrium to foster a meaningful and lasting connection. So gentlemen, be confident, be genuine, and most importantly, be you. Because the true magnet that will attract the right person to you is your own life.